President Tsai Ing-wen waved to crowds as she arrived in San Francisco on Friday. It was her second U.S. stopover in the past week and came after her visit to Taiwan's allies in Central America. She received VIP treatment, including being greeted at the airport by American Institute in Taiwan Chairman James Moriarty and by hundreds of Taiwanese compatriots outside the arrival hall. During the transit stop, she visited Twitter's headquarters and a center being set up in Silicon Valley to attract talent for her government's Asian Silicon Valley project in Taiwan. Outside her hotel, however, she was met with protesters who were against Taiwan independence. It was unclear whether she met with any members of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's transition team, his close advisors, or future members of his cabinet. There were media reports she may have had telephone conversations with Trump's people, but her office did not confirm or deny such reports. During her first U.S. stopover in Houston on January 7th and 8th on her way to Central America, Tsai met with U.S. senators, the Texas governor, and reportedly had dinner with a close advisor to Trump on China and Taiwan policy. Again, her office has refused to confirm such a meeting took place. But what President Tsai did say on Sunday after returning home was that her trip, including the transit stops, had elevated the island's international profile. She said the main objective of her trip was to consolidate Taiwan's friendships and give Taiwan space on the international stage. China tried to convince the U.S. to not allow the stopovers. Beijing does not trust Ms. Tsai, who has refused to accept the One China policy, that Taiwan and the mainland are a part of One China. China is also worried about incoming U.S. President Trump changing the U.S. acknowledgement of the One China policy. There are signs that the U.S. under a Trump administration and Republican-led Congress will push for closer ties with Taiwan. Just before her U.S. stopover in San Francisco, several pro-Taiwan members of the U.S. House of Representatives jointly introduced legislation that encourages visits between the United States and Taiwan at all levels. The Taiwan Travel Act is aimed at strengthening ties between Washington and Taipei and would allow high-level Taiwanese officials to visit the U.S. and vice versa, though it doesn't specify at how high a level. If the act is passed, it could mean Taiwanese president stopovers in the U.S. could become more frequent or turn into fully fledged visits. Beijing will no doubt oppose this. Relations between China and Taiwan, as well as between Beijing and the Trump administration, could then become further strained. CNA, Taipei.